Hi Blood Bankers. Today we're going to be training on the quality control for Resolve Panel A and Panel B. So the reason for this change is the following. It was a finding as part of our CAP and ABB assessment that we were not following package insert for quality control required for Panel A and Panel B. So QC of panels has been a hot topic in blood banking for quite a while, and really there hadn't been any instructions from the manufacturers. So Ortho was on the ball, and also this is consistent with the CAP requirement for daily quality control. So for this reason, the quality control of Resolve Panel A and Panel B was written by Heather. And when it was written, this is to conform with the manufacturer's requirement, who updated their package insert to say that these panels, Ortho Panel A and Panel B, should be tested periodically with weak antibodies. So what does that mean? Well, we are defining that as basically similar to the lot-to-lot process. So that when products are logged in, you are going to isolate those units in our quarantine, and then prior to putting those panels into use, you would verify that the panel is tested with a weak antibody and verified as appropriate. So what we're going to do is very similar to lot, is we're going to put a copy of the SOP in the login book as a reminder that this needs to happen. 2, you can then put a QC sheet with the panel. So this will be the QC sheet that'll be in the login book. So you can put this QC sheet, you can log the panel in, put the QC sheet with it, and then put it in quarantine. Now, prior to use, we're then going to test that panel to ensure that it reacts appropriately with a weak antibody. So what we're going to use for our reagent is we're going to have our Panel A and Panel B. Then our reagent is going to be the AlbaQ, which is the AlbaQ QC is the same that we put on the Vision. Okay, so vial 2 is the right one to use, not vial 1, 3, or 4. You want to use vial 2, that'll have the weak antibody that we're looking for. So we're going to document the date the product is received on our worksheet. We're going to select a cell to be tested. So we're going to choose a heterozygous cell. So we're going to choose one big C positive, little c positive cell. So in this case, you're going to look at your anagram and find the big C positive, little c positive cell, and then you're going to test that cell with the vial 2 of the AlbaQ. You may test that in 2 different ways. You may either test it by putting it on the Vision as a selected cell, or you could test it manually. Either one is fine. The SOP references the test method on how to do that. Again, your 50 microliters of red cell and your 25 microliters of the Antisera, or in this case, the AlbaQ check. So then you're going to examine your reactions and ensure that it meets our requirement, which is going to be greater than or equal to 1+. Okay, it might be 3+, but that source per the vendor is a weak source of antibody. So again, greater than 1+ is an appropriate reaction. Then you're going to submit the paperwork for supervisory review as soon as the testing is completed. Ideally, the super review would be completed first, but we know this timing would be similar to lot. So that review would happen and the panel would be made available. Okay, so let's give an example of what that worksheet would look like. So Panel A and Panel B come in at the same time with the same expiration. So it is likely that we would always be testing Panel A and B together. But remember, you can also test them separately. So you could just do A or just do B. Okay. So, however, most of the time it's going to look like this, where you're going to have your receive date, your verification of the lot numbers that you're using. So the Resolve lot number, the expiration date, then the cell number of that lot that you're using, either the panel A cell or the panel B cell. Then you can use your AlbiQ. That'll be the same for both. Okay. Then you're going to do your testing, and I made sure this has a bold line, so this is where your test results are going to go. Compare it to the expected and say whether or not it is valid or not. They should be valid. Okay. If for some reason it's not, one, check to make sure you've got vial 2. You might not have vial 2. Check it again and repeat your testing. But then you're going to have your tech initials. Okay. Now, if it is no, something happened, then this down here is where you're going to write down your corrective action and do your repeat. Okay. Down at the bottom then is where you've got your super view. You're going to send it for super view. And then this is the day the panel is available. So if you're on day shift and you do this testing, hand it to Tracy or I. If you're on evenings, hand it to Angel. Say, hey, look at this real quick. Make sure my panel is good. If I'm on overnights, give it to me. I can check to make sure everything's good and put that panel in immediately. Okay. So resolve panel A, resolve panel B, QC. Again, just a big summary. You're going to test it before it goes into use. We're going to document it very similar, or log it in very similar to the lot-to-lot process. We will test it before it goes into use, make sure it's valid, do the supervisor review, and put it into use. Now, just a reminder, we are only doing ortho panel A and panel B. We are not doing the Immucor panel cell 10. We're not doing the Immucor panel cell 20. We're not doing any of the echo strips. Why? Why would we do that? Ideally, we would do all the panels. We would QC the panels and we would have the same process. Ortho is the only one, per their package insert, who is requiring this testing. The other manufacturer, Immucor, is not requiring this testing. Will we likely see this in an update to their package insert in the future? Yes, we probably will, because this is a CAP requirement for a quality control step to verify that this package is valid when you go to use it. But we're not there yet. So right now, only going to verify panel A and panel B with ortho. Remember, you can test it by vision or by manual gel, and you use your AlbiQ. Okay, so please let me know if you have any questions after you watch this video and do this in-service. If not, this SOP is available. We have asked you to read it in PolicyStat. And we need to start doing this QC testing as soon as possible. So I'll put everything out today. Today is March 25th, our first day of the move week. So again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.